Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. I'm B.Y.L. That guy right there is the professor. As always, and joining us is the brand new 3WA Carnage champion, B.Y.L. Boss, young legend.
Oh, hold on 1 second, fellas. Yeah, let me just.
There's the hardware,
Let me
professor.
just. Yeah, right here.
There's the
right here.
hardware right there, man.
There's the hardware. Yeah.
That is a pretty
Christopher's here. So what's up, guys? Let's go.
Yeah.
David, our old pal David. Sunday night greetings around the turnbuckle. Congratulations to the 3WA Carnage champion B.Y.L.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Motorman. All right, man.
Yes.
So listen, so for those of you who don't know, B.Y.L has been in the business for a while now, just a little bit. He's just getting running. He's just getting moving.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to see how he got started in the business, go back to the first interview we had with him a few months back, and you'll get all those details. What we want to talk about is the here, now, present, and the future of B.Y.L. Last night at 3WA Spring to Battle, it was B.Y.L challenging the then champion, Rob Atkins, who had that title for 9 months, guys. And man, what a matchup between those two. And I knew it'd be good before it started. But man, Professor, did you enjoy calling that or what?
Oh, absolutely. I was talking to B.Y.L about it off air. You know, it's nice when you see a match that just, and I mean, the fans that know what I'm talking about, and other workers will understand too. When you watch something and you know that both performers are on and the chemistry is there and it's working and it's gelling and both guys are on point and enjoying it, and that was going last night. I don't think there was a single flaw in what they did. No shame in their game. And I told him off air I would love to see it run back. I really would, because it was just that damn good. And the audience seemed to be into it. They were following along. Really mixed reactions, but I did take note that there were quite a few times where people seemed to be more B.Y.L than Rob Atkins, which was surprising because Rob Atkins has been with the company on and off so long. So really, you got something there that you're able to take somebody that's been the consummate babyface and a veteran there, and they were more into you and more getting behind you.
Prince Piranha's here. He said, yo, guys, someone shut
Yeah,
that dog up.
I apologize. Outside. He hasn't been walked in a few days, so he's
Don't
outside.
knock him out, man. All right. Anyway, before we get started there, Mr. Champ, I do want to say that I really appreciate all the comments and the love I got today. I did put a Facebook post out there that last night was my last time ring announcing, and that is a conscious decision on my part. It's just I'm not leaving the business. I'm gonna just sit next to the professor where I belong and do color commentary. So I really appreciate Carolina Jim and all the wrestlers and all the fans that went and made a comment or a like or a love tonight. All the love I got today, I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But my heart lies with the professor, and I know he's going to call me gay for that. He did in the locker room last night.
Well, you know, you set yourself up, and you admitted you set yourself up, because I was piggybacking off something that someone else said earlier, that everyone in the business is gay secretly. And then he said that, and I'm like, well, not letting that one get past.
Christopher says, congratulations.
And that's what matters.
Congratulations to B.Y.L and Represent, and Big Al, thanks for all you've done as ring announcing, and wishing you love back on commentary. I'll be back with the professor actually May the 2nd at SWO. We're going to do Reynolds Rumble 5, so we'll be right there. Here's a guy last night, Professor, who did a little bit of a, shall we say, a heel turn?
It seems so, but you know, I talked about things that worked, and boy, did that not work, because
I agree.
They love Robbie too much.
They just love Robbie.
They love Robbie too much, and I think Nathaniel Cunningham is not in their hearts yet.
Right.
the way Robbie Mills is in there. Like Robbie Mills is not from Quakertown.
Right.
He is from York, Pennsylvania. He is like an hour and a half away. He lived.
Yep.
But Quakertown has decided that they love Robbie Mills. They've adopted Robbie Mills. He is their guy.
Yep.
Mhm.
So I have a feeling this is going to be one of those things where next month we're all just going to get amnesia, forget he did that, and Robbie will be fine.
You think it's gonna be a Stone Cold at WrestleMania 17 thing, or
No,
one of those
because that did work for half a minute, because it's like, wait a minute, why is Jesus shaking hands with Satan?
right?
Like that's kind of what was happening there, and this was more like Jesus just kicked. I'm trying to think of like who, like Jesus kicked one of the not over apostles in the dick, and
Yeah,
everybody
like Saint Peter or something.
no, St. Peter's pretty over.
Okay.
I don't know my religion. Somebody in the comments can tell me, can help my blasphemy and go which apostle
so
was
wrong.
not.
God, I hope
Apostle
Nathaniel
was not
Cunningham
over.
doesn't
Maybe
watch this.
wait, Simon
All
was
right.
the one that denied him, right? So
Holy
maybe we'll go with
cow.
Simon. He kicked
Okay.
Simon in the balls, and everybody's like, "Well, Jesus shouldn't have kicked him in the balls." But he is Jesus, so I think I'm going to allow it.
All right, so
Oh.
all right, I'm pretty sure he just in this one statement compared Stone Cold Steve Austin, a bald, beer swilling,
I'm going to
middle
hell. I'm
finger
aware of this.
gesturing redneck to Jesus, but whatever.
I'm going to
They
hell.
compare both to Robbie Mills.
I'm done.
and Robbie Mills. All
Yeah.
right, who is this kid you interviewing? Let's get to it. I'm sorry.
I'm
Prince
sorry. I'm on a
Piranha.
tangent.
May I introduce to you the brand new 3WA Carnage champion, B.Y.L, Boss Young Legend. And sir, man, talk about your match. Talk about before the match.
Piranha, way to reveal that you came
Butterflies.
into the movie late.
Talk about Piranha, yeah. Talk about butterflies. Talk about whatever went through your mind before the match, during the match, and then after the match, when the former champion congratulated you.
Yeah, so we faced off in February, and we had a good match. And I was like, got there, kind of found out what was going on. I was like, okay, this is what's going to happen. Let's get to it, right? And this time we were just both so on point with each other, and we just went out there and we had like one of the best matches like in my career, and it felt so good. And then I win the title, and it's like, ladies and gentlemen, this is my first singles title in my whole career, like across like any promotion ever. This is like the first title I've won, which feels good. Like I talked about in the last podcast, that's important to the journey never ends, hard work never stops.
Yep.
But like smell the roses while you can, and it's like feels pretty good right now.
And just remind everybody, quick refresher there, that you have trained under Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
And anything else along the way that you want to refer to?
Yeah, no, I've been in for about almost 2 years now. Trained under Catchpoint Wrestling, Drew Gulak, Hot Sauce, Tracy Williams, Wheeler Yuta. Been working with 3WA since last August. Been working with New Era Pro Wrestling for a little bit, and various other independent promotions across the Pennsylvania indie scene, and maybe some Jersey, some New York, wherever I can go.
Only the fourth Carnage champ. That is correct, right,
Yes.
Professor? It was the dude. It was Wyndham, and it was Rob Atkins.
And now it's B.Y.L.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Little say hello to Shane Sanchez, a.k.a. Mr. Ping. You might run into him down the road there, B.Y.L.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a competitor.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt, now we have the second Carnage champ watching. We do?
Wyndham?
I knew it.
Oh, he's here. Well, I do got to say that on the offset that I do got to say that stay tuned to Around the Turnbuckle. We do have a new intro coming. I just couldn't get it together yet, but we do have a new intro coming next week. So, stay tuned for that next week.
The
Roadblock
series of Al fails.
The Roadblock Chad McCoy says congratulations to the champ.
Oh yeah.
Yes, but you are see now. So now you got it, kid.
Now we got it.
Now the target's on your back. All these people are coming out of the woodwork. Former champions. Everybody's watching. You know what I'm saying? So now, not just Rob Atkins, which, again, we said this off air, and I don't know if you're going to say anything, but he did say something to you when he congratulated with the belt. Would you mind telling us what he said?
Yeah, I'll disclose that real quick. He said, we got there, I got my hand raised with the belt, and I looked at him, I said, that was a hell of a reign, and he just looked and said, that was a hell of a match. You got the title now, and you got the torch now, you're going to run with it. And I said, oh, yeah. And then we embraced.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Happy for you. Put in the good time, and good things happen. What's up next? Great question.
Right, yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I just want to shout out Rob Atkins real quick.
Go ahead.
Rain. Like Water Rain, every month he came in and just was the real workhorse championship. And me and Austin Sims were talking about it last night. He had this title before I debuted in 3WA.
Right.
And, it's kind of crazy. Now I kind of want to carry on. I want to make this title the workhorse title in 3WA. I want to have come.
So, Professor, explain briefly where the Carnage Championship came from, because it's our baby, and we will take full credit for that. So just explain to him what we look for, what we have looked for in a Carnage champion.
Yeah, so end of the day, we don't really control, obviously, who gets the title or anything. We're extremely honored that, the promotion felt good enough about Carnage, about us, about what everybody does behind the scenes. It's not just me and Al yammering on the show. We've got, Kurt that was here in the comments. We've got somebody else. I'm not going to say his name. That's one of our producers, because I'm sure he doesn't want to be outed.
Plus, say his name and he appears, and he's not Joe Hendry.
There's that, but I also don't think too he would necessarily love to be outed in this format for doing it. I think he's outed himself once or twice before. But there's a whole team that works on this stuff, that figures these things out, gets the shows up and all of that stuff. So we're extremely proud that hard work was recognized with this championship. What we kind of envisioned it as, and what we were told the promotion was looking at it as, was kind of a young gun championship at first. The first guy to have it was the dude. And the idea was to take somebody that the promotion is getting behind and the fans are getting behind, and give them that title as a way to kind of put a spotlight on them and let them get to the next level. And it hasn't quite always worked that way, because we went to a dude, then we went to Wyndham, who's obviously been around a minute. We went to Rob Atkins, again, somebody who's been around a minute, but wasn't quite as established. More of, yeah, I know. I'm still trying to preserve, people, if they don't want to be outed. I don't want to heat about we've been saying that shit on the show.
Right.
But I do think what you said is Rob really did set a standard with it for going out there and kind of being the champion that has the best match on the show.
Yep.
And I love that you want to go in that direction. I'm flattered and honored that you want to take something that, I had any kind of a hand in and make that the goal. The only thing I would say to you too,
our TV title.
Right. And the only thing I would say to you too is, treat it as a platform for yourself too. Get back there and be like, I could cut some promos. I could do this. I could do that. Start having ideas. Start. That belt is only going to be as important as you and the company allow it to be.
Yeah.
And knowing management and how open management is, I feel like the onus kind of becomes on whoever has that title, or the extreme title, or the heavyweight title, or any title in the company. The onus is really kind of on you to take the opportunity and the spotlight you have as a champion and say, I want to run with it. I don't want to be just another champion here. I want to be the champion here, whether I'm the heavyweight champion or not. Look at Rob Van Dam, what Rob Van Dam did in ECW with the TV title.
Oh,
By the
yeah.
time Rob was done as television champion, there were people who were making legitimate arguments about like the TV title matters a lot more than the heavyweight title does.
Yep.
Because Rob Van Dam refused to say, okay, just because I'm the TV champion, I'm the secondary champion. He said, bullshit, I got a belt, I got a platform, and beat me. You know, do better than me, outperform me, outwork me. So I would say, you know, that's the attitude you should take.
Christopher says, so this was your first title. How does it feel? And was all this training worth it?
Yeah, it feels, like I said, feels really good. I was talking with one of my boys earlier today, and he goes, "You're so casual about everything. Like this is your first singles title. Like be freaking hype." And I am really, really hype about this. But it's like I feel like I've already done a lot of significant things, but like it's like this is just adding on to everything. Like I feel like I've been adding a lot to my resume in the very short time I've been here, but like now I've got this championship. I want to run with it, and like I said, just put on the best match every night.
Yeah, and like Keith said, man, every month we're looking at that Carnage Championship match, and in the back of our heads, we're like, this is going to be match of the night, and we're hoping that. And it has been. I mean, it has been for the most part since its inception, match of the night caliber. So I'm looking forward to what you bring to the table and some of the challengers like Rob Atkins, but there's some other guys out there that are hungry and want to see that championship gold and maybe have that match of the night with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kurt says, I expect the title on your shoulder at other shows.
Right.
Kai Thomas helped spread high impact by defending it in multiple promotions. How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Get the green light. Why not?
Yeah,
Bring it. Yeah.
Yeah, this title's gonna go wherever I go. I'm at New Era. I'm talks with the EWA down in Maryland, and just like wherever else I happen to come across on the PA in DC or Jersey or wherever and this title's gonna come with me. And if I get the green light, let's go. I'm down to work.
Please no calling people hungry.
Yeah, that is gimmick infringement. That is.
How's it gimmick infringement when since the dawn of time, people have been calling challengers for championships hungry in any sport?
Because it's Prince Piranha and he owns it, and it's Prince Piranha.
Wow.
He has it. It's his.
He said now. Prince Piranha twice in the same sentence.
I did. That's how much it needed to be emphasized.
To totally agree. The heavyweight, extreme, and high impact have all open talented fields, and they need to prove that theirs is the best, right?
I mean, that's my feeling. 3WA has a lot of belts, and I know a lot of fans have criticized that. I'm not always the biggest fan of having a lot of championships.
Yeah.
But the way I look at it is, if you're going to have, no matter how many championships you have in a promotion, if each championship has something unique about it, something about it that can differentiate it from all the other titles, and I feel like 3WA has enough of that, because like the high impact title is more action, it's faster paced, it's kind of a cruiserweight title but not a cruiserweight title. The heavyweight title is a heavyweight title. Every promotion has a heavyweight title. We know what that means. Theoretically best guy in the company.
Right.
The extreme title has interesting rules to it that makes guys get a little more creative.
Right.
And with the Carnage title, we've said it's kind of the TV title, but it's really wide open. It's really whatever the champion can craft it as, because you're only the fourth guy to hold it. So it's really still new, and there isn't this kind of established history. Like, what an Intercontinental Champion is, roughly. What the United States Champion is, roughly. Like, you sort of have an expectation of what that champion's going to do. You don't really have that with the Carnage yet. The identity is still there to be defined.
So we're going to see B.Y.L in a ladder match soon?
Why do you have to cripple him? Why are you like, hey, can we damage the crap out of him then?
I've done one ladder match in my career.
I'm kidding.
I'm in no rush.
I'm kidding.
If the opportunity arises, hey, I'll do it. But like,
interesting set of words. Opportunity rises. Sounds like the name of a PLE, Professor.
It would be very, very, very hard to do a ladder match in the 3WA arena. It's not impossible, but it would be very hard because those ceilings are super low. Like I almost feel like
it would have to be one of those
our
school
ladder
shows.
match would almost be like one of those 3-step ladder.
Or the school shows, you know, when they do the high school gym shows.
Yeah, that's what you would need to do when you're in like the bigger venues, like a Saturday night slam down showdown or something. You could do that. We tend to be in bigger buildings there. At the Q Mart, like I say, it would probably be something like one of those painters ladders, and you could get it done with that.
So B.Y.L, you got anything like lined up other than I know that you're going to be at the 45th anniversary of 3WA, which is May 24th. But do you have anything lined up between now and then?
So right next week, I am at Frontier Pro Wrestling, and I have a match with Stuntcat.
Stuntcat, one-on-one.
Yeah, and then the week after that, I'm doing a taping with EWA. It's one of their no fans shows, so sorry, but they post matches on YouTube, and that's how they roll.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And those are the matches right now I have lined up for May. I'm not, unfortunately, I will not be at New Era this month.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll be back soon. But yeah, that's kind of what I have for May. And then June should be, you know, my usual consistent places. And yeah, just kind of like trying to build something with New Era and 3WA, and then Frontier if they're gonna keep running consistently, and then it's wherever else I can get. And you know, I'm in talks with EWA. I'm in talks with Smashmaster Wrestling up in Scranton. And,
Uncle Masty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's been doing great stuff up there.
Yeah, and that's, you know, it's kind of wherever else I find myself. You know.
Get the reps.
Yeah, man, get it out there, man. I love it. And but have you been working on your character at all? Like we talked last show about that because you were really still trying to define who B.Y.L is.
Yeah.
So now that you got this title now, you got these, you're getting out there more, you're starting to spread your wings a little bit. Have you given some thought about the answer to that question? Like, who is B.Y.L?
Yeah. You know, I feel like it's also like still a process too. Like as I have more matches, I am also like learning, defining like certain characteristics I have myself. But right now, what I define it as me, a hot young star on the rise. He wants to prove that he is the absolute best wrestler wherever he walks in because he knows he can do that. And then there's certain little characteristics I have for myself, like I'm young, which means I'm very reactionary, sometimes a little aggressive in that, you know, trades, however, into matches, and then, you know, yeah. But, you know, essentially, I feel like the character is very fluid. I'm open to, you know, pretty much everything. Like, I feel like I can be the workhorse. I can be the really sniveling, shitty heel. I can be like white meat baby face, you know, and I can, you know, I always like enjoy characters who, like, you know, they are defined, but like they are very fluid and open to everything. And that's what I try to be.
Have you also been working on like different finishers, ones that you wanted to try, like, you know, as you still define your character? Because like last night, man, I think you speared Rob Atkins in half. I don't know how he kicked out of that right before the match was over. Professor, you saw it.
I saw it. I called it. I thought that was the finish right there.
I thought it was it right there, man. I mean, that was a dynamite spear, man, by both of you, but still, Jesus.
Yeah.
It looked awesome. It looked awesome. I was like, okay, he's done.
But at the same token, I mean, good that it wasn't, because, you know, I think in general, a spear is becoming one of those things that's in danger of like the super kick,
right?
Where it's getting overused by too many people, and it's almost becoming either the go-to finisher for too many people, or it's in danger of becoming a transition spot.
Right.
Where it's just like, oh, I want to do something really cool and impactful looking. I know, spear.
Well, there's so many moves, right? That it's hard to protect them anymore. You know, people still protect the tombstone pile driver, but even that's starting to become a thing where in some promotions it's used right in the middle of a match.
Well, to me, at the risk of, because I know somebody said to me last night off the WrestleMania show, like, damn, I thought you turned heel, the amount of negative things you were saying. But I mean, when I'm negative, I try to be negative with a point.
Not yet.
Which is what I'm going to do here, where it's like, I don't think it's that hard to protect stuff if the guys would just police themselves and police
Yes.
each other, and I'm going to throw it on management of promotions too, promoters, start telling people, if you have somebody come in and somebody does something as a finish and that's their finish, you need to put your foot down with the rest of the locker room and just be like, guys, that's his finish.
Exactly, Kurt.
I don't want to see a single goddamn person on this show use that because it's so-and-so's finish. Protect each other's finishes, because like I keep saying, if every goddamn devastating thing, like Kurt just said, Canadian Destroyer looks like it kills you, and it will kill you if it's done wrong.
Right.
So if the Canadian Destroyer becomes a freaking transition spot, I always say eventually we're just going to go to the only way to get people to credibly believe something finishes you is you're just going to have to pull out a gun and shoot the motherfucker with it. And we don't want to do that. We do not want to get to the place where it's like, I know how to finish this match, murder. And that's the only way to do it, because nobody believes anything short of murder is going to put somebody away.
Right.
So everybody needs to save their bodies. Make fun of guys who are like, oh, DDTs used to finish people. Yeah, because it was protected, and people were made to believe that, getting dumped on your head would be enough to put you down for 3 seconds.
There's another side of the coin, though, Professor. Like the side suplex used to put people away back in the 60s.
Right. And I mean, I understand stuff's going to evolve. I understand that. The stuff that, worked 30, 40 years ago doesn't work. But I say to people, go back and look at that stuff, especially because I really think now a lot of that stuff isn't done anymore. And because a lot of that style isn't done anymore, if you can steal from that in some ways and bring some of that in your modern work, you'll stand out, because people will go, I've never seen that before. Because most wrestling fans don't go back and watch everything. They don't read the books like I do about the old stuff. They don't know where it comes from. They probably don't know that you could go on Tubi right now. I've done it. And you can find compilations of Gorgeous George, for God's sake. They have Gorgeous George matches on Tubi that you can watch. And I really urge.
There wouldn't have been a Ric Flair, wasn't George?
No, there wouldn't have been a Ric Flair, a Superstar Graham, any of that. There wouldn't have been a Hulk Hogan without a Superstar Graham. Hogan stole everything from Superstar.
Can you talk about your finishing moves? And are there any new things that you have in the mix?
Yeah, so my finisher that I mainly use as a end it is, I call it the knee 380. Basically, I describe it as an arm trap code breaker. Basically, what I do is I get the guy down, grab his arm, step over his arm, and wrap my knee around his arm so it's right against his head, and then I almost do a code breaker. If you watch my match with Alexander Bateman at 3WA in my debut, that's where I use it. Yeah. And
great match. Do you have a name for that move, or are you still working on that?
I call it the knee 380.
The knee 380.
Yeah, because 380's name of a bullet.
There you go. Professor, if he pulls that one out, it's the knee 380.
Yeah. And then another one, I call it the satellite drop. Basically, if a guy is running at me and I'm like facing away from him, what I do is I get him up and I bring him like all the way up to my shoulder, and then I take almost like a big ending, but it's like basically like a friggin' whoop, and then down.
And straight down. Yeah, like Big E used to do, but he was coming running at you. Yeah, okay.
Right, yeah. There's a video of it on my Instagram if you want to check that out.
Nice.
Yeah, and then eventually, right now, kind of working with, busted some of it out last night. Working with like I call it a karate single knee face buster. Just get him a karate and bring him down right on.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
that was wicked.
Yeah, also working with the Northern Lights bomb. Love that move. Yeah, and then
I love it, man. You got all these tools, and you never stop learning. You have the mentality of a veteran that's been doing this for 20 years, not 2 years. About never stop learning, studying films, working with your trainers, doing whatever it takes to get better at this. So to me, all I can see is, like I'm like checking all these boxes off about a superstar, right? Like check. Then there's that character. I want to see something come out of this. I want to see character. And I don't know if you're there. I don't know if you're there yet, but I don't know if you're working on it. But that's what I want to see.
Yeah. like I said, everything's, you know, I'm always learning. It's still in the process, like building and everything. But yeah, just keep watching is what I say. Um, yeah,
Yeah, you got
Andy,
the
kids, don't do it at
spotlight.
home. Thanks, Andy, for that.
yeah,
Even though we all know that we've all tried it at home once or twice. I mean,
Oh, when I was a kid,
those of us that survived are the
they had
ones
the
that are like,
wrestling
well, I'm gonna
buddies.
try the stupidest stuff.
WWE, Keith, had the wrestling buddies. What were we supposed to do with them? Like sleep with them in the bed?
I think
No,
officially
we
that is
wrestled
what
those
you were
suckers in
supposed
the
to
living
do.
room. I had a tag match with me and my cousin against the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan, and they're the wrestling buddies. When I was 8,
yeah.
but whatever. Okay.
And you still did the job.
I did job to them, yes. All right, so you don't beat the Ultimate Warrior or Hogan. Anyway, B.Y.L, what's your favorite match so far in your career? Mr. Kurt wants to know.
Right. I have a couple. A guy, but yeah, most of them involve a guy I want to shout out, Alexander Bateman. He's become kind of my boy over the past couple months, and but yeah, I will say the first match I had in 3WA against him, great match. Just yeah, we kicked the crap out of each other, and it was awesome. And then New Era Pro Wrestling in October. It was me, Bateman, and Sturdy Salmastretta. It was like a big culmination from like my feud with Bateman and then Sal's continuation of his feud with Bateman. And then um, going into that match, I think we all treated it like the biggest match in New Era up to that point, which it was really. If you ask me, still is, but it's me. But yeah,
I think that's fair. I mean, I haven't been following New Era as closely as I could, but I mean, I know for at least the last year or so, it's really been all about Bateman, and it's been all about Bateman dominating the title and being the monster that dominates the title, and then it's the baby faces running at the monster heel, trying to put him down, and then I got to the show that I did get to be there for and have the call on was Sturdy Sal, is the baby face that finally climbs the mountain and overcomes the monster.
yeah, but yeah, that triple threat match with me, Bateman, and Sturdy was just like incredible. Like, I feel like it had a very almost attitude era vibe to it. They're saying because like we like really full sent it. Like we went like outside the venue, brought out there. It was my first match with weapons. It was an experience. But yeah, if you the match is on the 570 Wrestling Experience YouTube channel.
Oh,
go
cool.
watch it. Go watch it. It's like
I'm gonna check that out, definitely.
Yeah.
So I noticed the one thing too. Last night's main event kind of made an impression on you. The tag team championship was up for grabs between the Heartbreakers, who were challenging Lou Nick and Abdul Sadiq, and I know you have respect for all 4 of those guys.
Yeah.
What did you think of that match, and talk about that impact it had on you?
Those guys are like they like really like sent that, like I've seen hardcore matches where it's like like damn, this is like really like they're really going for it, and they like went for it. Like I know how those kendo shots feel. I know how those chairs feel. I know how I haven't taken a trash can yet, so I won't say I know how a trash can feels. but yeah, and it's like respect to those guys because they're all great, and it was my first time seeing Abdul in a minute, so it was awesome to see him. Yeah, that match was just great. Shout out to those guys. Yeah.
I know they were proud of it in the back. I mean, that was something. Some of those spots, I was calling it like I was calling the Hindenburg disaster. I mean, the brutality that was going on. It was one of those. Reminds me of that scene from Major League when Wesley Snipes is talking to a manager and he hits the home run and he's like, "That was like one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Don't you ever dare do that again." And that was kind of my feeling with that. Is like that was really awesome. Do not ever do it again. Don't kill yourself that way.
Continue playing to the camera and to the crowd.
Yep.
My wrestling buddies are on second generation. Nice. That was nice. Hard match.
really
He's talking
was.
about that match we're talking about there.
You could see they
Broken kendo sticks and all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that spot, like, it was like, yeah, that spot made me like freak out a little bit because it's like a, kendo shot. You hit someone with a broken kendo stick. Now it's like, oh, this might
Splinters, maybe. I
go
mean,
wrong. Yeah.
it could go wrong, right?
And there was definitely some hard feelings about the kendo sticks because there's a little bit of a Sandlot
The
moment going
owner
on
of
there
said
where
kendo sticks was not happy that they were broken.
no, it was a little bit of a Sandlot moment there where I almost had to sit there and be like, the fuck are you using like Babe Ruth's ball to go play Sandlot? Like, if you've ever seen the Sandlot, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But that's
they
a
used Babe Ruth's ball to play, and he hit it over the fence.
Because the kid had no idea who Babe Ruth was. He was completely
Bateman, man. We've seen Bateman a few times in 3WA, and it'd be cool if he graced us with our presence and challenged you for that title, since he's become a bit of a rival for you over the past year or so.
Yeah, I'd love to see more Bateman generally. Bateman is just growing leaps and bounds, and he's got that size that you can't teach. And he knows how to work like a monster. And all of that stuff. So, I mean, yeah, I'd love to see more Bateman. Yeah. Funny you mentioned him.
Right. I'll say this. I want a rematch with him, mostly because like I feel so much more confident in myself, and I'm miles ahead of where I was than the last time we wrestled. So
Definitely.
I think, and now I think we could like really do something special. So yeah.
And then for now, like, we got the anniversary show coming up, so we don't know who your opponent's going to be yet. But if Rob Atkins, I know he's going to deserve a rematch. He's going to want a rematch if he's there.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? But I mean, to Rob Atkins, I mean, what do you think of that? A prospect of a rematch for him this is their WrestleMania. This is 3WA's WrestleMania every year. This is the anniversary show. They all go in, they go out. It's crazy. A lot of guys that haven't been around a while show up. It's always a big show. It's the big show for them. Yeah. So, the management does a great job in putting it together. They usually have like some kind of couple big events happen during that show. So again, we talked about the Carnage Championship being that workhorse title, man. We want you, and either, if it's Rob, hell, that'd be great, to steal the show. What do you think?
A thought that ran through my head earlier today was possibly rematch 2 out of 3 falls.
Ooh.
Possibly.
I would love to call that.
Maybe it's just maybe Iron Man match. I have the cardio for it. I know I do. I think that'd be cool.
Interesting.
But yeah, no, I want
to work on my cardio if we do that.
Well, usually, Professor, in an Ironman match, in the indies, they usually do 20 or 30 minutes. They don't do like the hour thing, right?
I still feel like I might need to work on my cardio. 20 or 30 minutes in those two. I think they got 10 or 15 last night, and I was kind of like, I don't think.
I still want 3WA to bring in Stevie Richards or the Sandman.
Hack still works, I think. I think Stevie is either like completely or 3/4 of the way retired. I only ever hear of Stevie
at conventions. I see him at conventions
and his podcast. I can't remember hearing him working anywhere. A couple of years at least.
Kai Thomas, who's one half of
we have to do that at some point. That has to get done somewhere.
One half of the tag team champions right now with his father. He's kind of living a dream right there. He told me last night that.
Oh God, yeah.
Being tag team champions with his father means the world to him.
Mm-hmm.
As much of a dick as his persona is, he does love his dad. So,
that's
congrats to you guys. Congrats to Kai Thomas and Top Shelf Tyler Sims.
Yeah, really happy to see the Heartbreakers get it last night. That was one of those cool moments. Father son. I mean, that's That's when this
And a shout
terrible,
out to Lou
terrible
Nick and
business
Abdul
is
Sadiq.
beautiful.
I mean, they're going
Yeah.
off. They're going off into the sunset as far as 3WA concerned, but that doesn't mean wrestling is
Right.
concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told them too, don't be strangers, come back, because
Right.
those kids are doing the right thing, and they're gonna be out there.
Whoa.
I've heard of them.
Are you ready for this, Professor?
Oh, I think I
It's been
just
a
saw it.
while. It's been a while since General Kiesel has graced a 3WA ring.
That's true.
All of a
That's
sudden, the
very
target's
true.
on your back. Okay, B.Y.L, may I introduce you to General Kiesel, who is 6'2",
Mhm.
monster of a man, and just mows down everything in his path. And he's a
Yeah.
multi-decorated independent wrestling champion who would love and used to be involved in 3WA at times, but he would love a shot at that Carnage championship. And I got all goosebumpy, Professor, because you know how I feel about the General.
The General is just one of the best in the business right now, coming off a huge win of the Jeff Becker Memorial Tournament. I would say, at least as far as the Indies, one of the best matches I've seen this year. Came up a little short on the cash in, but that's that piece of shit Benny Slater.
Easy.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Easy. Okay. B.Y.L, you got a target on your back, man. These wrestlers are coming out, man. I see these General Kiesel, Prince Piranha, Kai Thomas.
That's what I want.
That's what you want, right?
Every fourth Saturday of the month, Quakertown
Stevie is
Kmart
a
Farmers Market,
3WA
come through.
veteran. Dino had him
I'll be
an
here.
early shot in the Battle Royal. There you go, Keith.
Wasn't that like, because I think I remember hearing about that as one of those, like, before Stevie was anything. It was more back in the day, like before he'd really taken off in ECW. I could be wrong, because I know a lot of those early ECW guys were also working for Dino. They actually had a jobber to make fun of Dino on the old Eastern shows, Dino Send Off or Dino Send Up or something like that.
So Christopher asked an interesting question, because we were just kind of begging that. You have all these challengers, all these possible challengers. Now that you're champion, do you have that match in mind that you want or next up?
Like any specific, like who I would want to.
Or if it's not specific, is it just whoever wants it, come get it?
Specifics. I want to see. I hope Samuel Thompson comes back to 3WA, because that's a match I've wanted for like a while now. I think I'm always open to like working. I want to work all different styles, because in training, that's how I've been taught. Like I've done lately, I've been working on a lot of lucha stuff. So hopefully, if some high flyer comes in, I can work around with him. But yeah,
we got that match coming up with Stunt Cat. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's hopefully, yeah. But yeah, no, I want everyone to come in. I want to put this title on the map. I want everyone to come. Oh, like I said, come every fourth Saturday of the month, Quakertown Kmart Farmers Market. I'll be here. I'll be defending the championship. And anyone wants a shot, step up. Step up. I'm here for it. You ain't taking the title, but I'm here for it.
Awesome. And the 45th anniversary of 3WA is Saturday, May the 24th at the Q Mart in Quakertown. Doors open at 6. Guys, if you haven't been to a Quakertown show, this is the show to go. This is the shows for them. They usually bring in some veterans, some guys from 3WA past, and they mix it up with the present. And man, we've never had a bad time at an anniversary show, Professor, and this is our 5th one straight.
Yes, indeed. And, you got to wonder, too. I keep hearing rumors that there may be something coming out of the commissioner's office pretty soon about this ongoing issue between JT Cage and the Prime Minister of Professional Wrestling. These guys are beating the crap out of each other at every show. They're interrupting the show half the time. Something's got to give here. Something's got to be done. I know the commission. We know the commissioner well. We know the Wolfman very well. I know he's not happy with this. He's not going to tolerate this. He's all about law and order. Maybe we're going to see something at the anniversary show.
Yeah, and I bet we will, and I hope we will. And I know that I did talk to JT Cage earlier today, and he was in the works of, he basically said to me, Al, I'm busy. We got some talking to do. And so he is going to be putting something out on social media addressing the Prime Minister of Professional Wrestling shortly, sometime tonight, if not tonight, tomorrow.
We know the Prime Minister has been busy addressing him.
So check out JT Cage's Facebook page if you want to see that. If you want to see this guy wrestle B.Y.L, again, man, tell him what you got going on between now and June.
Between now and June, like I said, next week, Frontier Pro Wrestling against Stuncat.
And where's that at?
That's in, I believe, Stroudsburg. I believe the show is 10 a.m. start time inside a video game store in Stroudsburg, which is going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting venue, right?
Yeah.
How do you get a ring in a video game store? Well, you're going to find out, aren't you?
I've heard if it's the ring, I think it is. It should be interesting. There's also, like I said, I'm in talks with EWA, I believe, Smashmaster, and, the big show with 3WA at the end of this month. I'll be at 3WA in June. Should be back at New Era maybe around June. I don't want to reveal too much of what's going on because, we're working on something special. And I believe Frontier is running in June as well. And then just wherever else I happen to be, But, I believe in building something. I believe in, with places. That's kind of like how I operate. So, yeah, if I'm consistent at a place, that's probably where you'll see me. So, always be on the lookout for me. You never know where you might see me. And you never know where you might see this championship defended, Like I said, this ain't just open to 3WA. This is open to everybody. Anybody who wants a shot, anybody who wants to bring me in. Yeah. I'll say this for the fans. If you want to see B.Y.L defend this championship at your local promotion that isn't 3WA, so maybe somewhere else, let them know. Because I'll bring this championship and I'll put on the best damn match you ever see. I'm B.Y.L, and that's what's up, right?
Wow, I like that, Professor. I like that. See, that's what I wanted.
You said the spotlight's on you. Go out there and use that spotlight. Go get it. Now is the time to bring it up. Elevate.
Yeah.
You got the fundamentals. You know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You know the basics. Yeah. Let's bring it up.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said,
volume up, as they say.
Like I said, every match I get better. Like every match I get better. And I feel way better than I did last year. I feel way better than I did in February. I'm way better than I was in March. And now May, it's just going to keep growing. So, hop on the train now is what I'm going to say. Hop on the train and, exactly.
Andy liked that.
Wow is right.
Andy liked that. See?
Yeah.
And he's been a fan of 3WA since before you were born, son.
Yeah.
So he really liked that. Oh, he really liked what came out of your mouth right there.
Mm-hmm.
SWO, bring him. Ooh.
I will say, I've had my eye on SWO because I know I keep up with, Big Al.
Thank
I'm a
you.
good boy. I keep up with him. But I'm trying to think about my schedule. Like every third Saturday, New Era usually runs every fourth Saturday.
Correct.
Obviously, Quakertown.
What's stopping me from being able to do more with New Era is they keep running when SWO is running.
Yeah.
However, every once in a while they do a show like May 2nd, Friday, May 2nd. They're at the Reynolds Rumble.
Yeah.
Very important show.
Yeah, it's a very important show. But I'm just saying that if you got in that door and you got to know them, schedule does open up sometimes. Sometimes they have run on the second week of a month before. They did it last month because they would have ran up against WrestleMania and they really didn't want to do that.
That's when everyone was running.
I know you're not old, Andy. I'm
just young is the thing.
Yeah.
He's just young, right? He's Boss Young Legend.
But yeah, exactly.
All right. I'm not that old. I wasn't calling you old. Anyway.
He felt like you were.
Well, yeah.
You have to settle it in the ring. There's no other way.
What is this obsession with you and me getting physically involved with anybody? I have never been trained.
I have been attacked twice. It's your turn now.
I have not been trained. I did have Okay, I want to address something though while we have this platform, and that is I want to publicly apologize to El Lobo, Siler Andrews, because apparently I have some heat with him for two reasons. One, I misannounced the championship match. He was to have a
Yeah.
3WA Extreme Championship match with Donnie Bambino, and I called it the Heavyweight Championship match. So he got in my face about that. Then after the match, he felt he was the winner because one of his guys put on a referees and counted 3 and awarded him the title, but that wasn't official. The Wolfman pulled it away from him, said, "No, you're not the champion. He's still the champion, is Donnie Bambino." And so as I announced him still the champion, Mr. Lobo got in my face again and got this close while I said it, and I stared him right in the eye as I did it. And then he walked away from me and he pointed back at me and said, "You're next," whatever that means.
So, Lobo have a problem? Do we have, I'll throw out the challenge, Lobo. If you have a problem with Big Al, you can talk to me about it.
El Lobo, I think, has a problem with the world.
I love
this kid. Yeah, and I understand. We had a little back and forth in that Resolution Rumble all the way back in January. Hey, if you have a problem,
thanks, Andy.
Find me.
Me and Keith in the ring. You versus Keith?
What?
You versus Keith, or are you with Keith? That's what I want to clarify. That please.
It sounds like he wants to. Why does everyone want to fight me?
I don't know.
What is up with that?
I'm gonna bite my tongue on that.
Page wants to fight me. Wyndham wants to fight me. That may be the only thing they agree on. Is neither
Wyndham
one
don't want to fight you
very much.
Wyndham thinks you're beneath him. That's all. It doesn't mean he wants to fight you. That's a big difference. Wyndham thinks that we're all beneath him.
Ain't that the truth?
You got a problem with Big Al? Come see. There it is. Now that help I'll take. I will. That's a big man right there. But B.Y.L, I appreciate you having my back, brother. Yeah. El Lobo has a problem with me. CBYL versus. There it is.
There you go.
He's challenging you. Whatever. He's still trying to, BYL. You ever heard of that ring announcer named Carolina Jim?
Yes.
Okay, so Keith has been trying to get me and Carolina Jim to fight over who is the permanent ring announcer.
There would be money in it.
The permanent ring announcer at 3WA.
Match.
Yeah, a tuxedo match.
The old Howard
tuxedo match.
Harvey Whippleman thing.
Tuxedo match? Now that's interesting. Now that's tuxedo match makes me more open to it.
If I lost, and that's a big if. If I lost, I would be down to my skivvies in front of the people at Quakertown.
Yeah.
You cannot
tell all the wrestlers.
Oh, you guys would love it. And those morons in Quakertown would love it, but not me.
So what you're saying is it's like 100 to 1.
That would be one of the worst days of my life. And what if Jim got naked? Like I love Jim, but he's a big dude. Like what if I stripped him down?
I think there is very little chance of that happening.
I mean, we got this anniversary show.
Jim,
might as well go
25
out.
years. Congrats, brother.
Yeah, congrats.
25 years as a ring announcer.
Yes.
This week. So yeah, Carolina Jim. Big shout out to Carolina Jim. He will be the ring announcer at the May 24th show, as a matter of fact, as I sit next to the professor where I belong and call Carnage. Anyway, no tuxedo match, BYL. Just don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up. And don't give Paul or any other people
they watch
ideas.
Yeah, enough of the decision makers watch.
My wife would love it. Yeah, probably. It all depends on what underwear I wore. Probably.
I was gonna say,
if any.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know. I feel like your wife might have gotten
like if I had a banana hammock, as the kids say, right? BYL. Under that tuxedo, I'd have to have some boxer shorts. I wouldn't have to have a banana hammock or anything like that. Like or a drop strap or whatever. So Professor, you done said his name enough. Mr. Cage is here. How's this guy, a boss and a young legend at the same time? Makes no sense. How you, a legend and you're young, go to bed. Don't like your face. Stay in your lane. I'm not in the mood.
What is even happening?
That is JT Cage.
He wants problem. Okay,
Yeah.
no. I watch him. You know,
Yeah.
I keep up with everybody in 3WA. You know, I watch him.
Sure.
You know, I feel like you don't like my face. Yeah, I don't like yours. You're bald and with a goatee. But anyways, yeah, you know, stay in my lane. Nah, man. The thing is about my lane is my lane's growing. And I'm only 23 years old. Lanes keep growing. Every match I get better. Can you, say the same? Like, I got respect for what you've done. I know you got respect. You've been here for a minute. I got respect for you. But like, you want me to say my lane? The thing is, my lane's gonna outgrow your lane. So if you got a problem with that, like I said, every fourth Saturday of the month, Quakertown Qmart Farmers Market, come find me. If you want this title, take it from me. Because I've had it on this whole podcast, and you think I'm really about to let it go? No. So, if hey, and I'll throw this out to the fans. If the fans of 3W want to see B.Y.L versus JT Cage for this Carnage title,
I want to see it.
Yeah, come find. If you got a problem, find me. We'll sell in the ring.
Come on, Andy. Is that the only word you heard in the last 20 minutes? Man. Anyway. Let that be a lesson to you, Mr. Cage. B.Y.L is here and here to stay.
Yeah. If you want me out, come, kick me out. Take it from me. Take this off my shoulder.
He's laughing at Cage. Love it. Yeah, he's not in the mood because he got put in a sleeper hole by Mr. Wyndham, and then later on that night, he returned the favor.
I did watch that. Even though me and Mr. Wyndham don't see eye to eye,
it was chaotic.
That.
It was quite chaotic.
It was chaotic.
Like the professor said, they need to settle that somehow. Something's got to give in the and maybe May 24th is when it'll give. But in the meantime, man, we're proud of you.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
We love that title. As we told you before, it means a lot to us who holds it, even though we don't have any say in who does.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, though, man, we're proud that you are now representing that championship. And, man, take it to heights it's never been, man. That's all we can say.
Yeah. Like I said, I've been with 3WA for the long haul for a little while. And now, especially with this, we're going to make this something special, and it was with Rob, we're going to make it even more special.
I love it. Like Professor said, man, we wouldn't mind you dialing that back too. Rob Atkins and B.Y.L.
Yeah, run it back.
I'm good with that. Professor, we're coming close to that time. You got any parting gifts for Boss, Young, Legend?
Keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right path. You're on the right path. And like I say, that's the challenge right now. You've got the belt. You've got that spotlight. You've got that guaranteed spot. As long as you show up, you're going to be on the shows. Use it. Use it as a platform to go get yourself to that next level out there. You're standing on the shoulders of pretty important people. We've had 3 great champions thus far. And like you said, take your own challenge. Go out there and make it even better. Take it even higher. Define it. Make that title synonymous with you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guys, we're about wrapping this up. If you like our videos, please share them to other people. That's how you get the word out. If you're a wrestler, a promoter, a referee, a manager, a ring announcer, a commentator, whatever you are, and you want to come on around the turnbuckle, please let us know ASAP. Those spots go fast. They are Sundays. We are live on Facebook and YouTube every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we love talking to especially guys that have been in the business for, a cup of coffee, because, man, when we, we get you when you're just getting started and maybe nobody knows you yet. We want to try to help them know who the heck you are and get out there and get booked more and get promoted more and reach for the stars, man, because I know you all have a dream. You're chasing a dream. Professor and I have lived our dreams, man, about doing commentary, about doing ring announcing for me. And I'll tell you what, though, sky's the limit for this kid, boss young legend, man. This is just the first step. The 3WA Carnage champion. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Young ones have no bad habits yet, so I can teach them all of mine.
B.Y.L, don't go anywhere when we go off the air. Next week, Professor, we will be back here on Sunday at 7 p.m. on the hot seat. We do not have a guest yet, but we have a potential guest, which I will not reveal. So you're just going to have to tune in next week, 7 o'clock on YouTube and Facebook for the Professor and the 3WA Carnage champion, Boss Young Legend. I'm B.Y.L, and this was Around the Turnbuckle.
You think you know me?
Oh, yeah! If you're